Hello there, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Botox Games. What a crazy morning. I just woke up. I just took a shower. As you can see, I'm still damp, but we have gotten so much news in the past, 12 hours. If you are a Nintendo fan, it is actually overwhelming. Of course, if you missed it a couple hours ago, or I guess in the wee hours of the night at 2 a.m., 3 a.m., I posted a video on the Switch Online playtest, as we have a ton of information on that, and I actually have another video going up later today talking more in depth about that, because it has been data mined, and there is a ton to talk about there. We also just got a ton of Pokemon leaks, but also now we know who is making Mario and Luigi Brothership, and it is not who I think anybody expected it to be. Let's talk about it. Alrighty, folks, good Monday morning. Yeah, there's a lot going on today. Stay tuned for a lot more videos, but if you missed it yesterday, I posted a video talking about how Mario and Luigi Brothership has officially leaked. There are so many copies out in the wild. There were a ton sold on Mercari yesterday, and I made a video talking about that and how unfortunate it is that this game will likely be dumped now, but also start leaking soon in terms of spoilers, boss gameplay, that kind of stuff that no Mario and Luigi fan really wants to see before release, before they get their hands on it for themselves, which obviously that's unfortunate, but I wanted to make that video yesterday because I want to let you guys know, hey, this is happening. And it's crazy that it happened so early. I think we're, still 17 days removed from the release of Mario and Luigi Brothership, which is, that is really early for a Nintendo game to leak. As someone who's been covering Nintendo game leaks for the past couple of years, Tears of the Kingdom, Scarlet and Violet, Mario Wonder, I mean, these games leaked maybe 10 days early at most, not 2, almost 3 full weeks early. So Mario & Luigi Brothership is an all-time catastrophic leak, I would say, for Nintendo in terms of just timing from the leak itself to the game actually releasing. Now, we now have information regarding the developer of this game, which has been a heavily debated subject over the past 5 months or 4 months, however long it's been since the game was announced. Because as I'm sure you all know, Alpha Dream, the original developers of the Mario & Luigi series, they filed for bankruptcy a couple years back after doing the Bowser's Inside Story remake. I think they also helped on Mario and Sonic 2020 as well, but they shut down a couple years ago, and it was very much in question, who would Nintendo trust to make a new Mario and Luigi game? We had a couple ideas. We knew that a lot of former staff for Alpha Dream, we knew that they kind of went to Ilka. Ilka is a developer that has partnered very closely with Bandai Namco, doing games like a One Piece Odyssey, as well as the recent Sandland game. But most importantly to us, they actually did a Nintendo game, being Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. So a lot of people thought, because of the history there, because a lot of Alpha Dream former staff went to Ilka, and because they have experience making RPGs, we thought maybe it was them. But then we also thought, well, maybe Monolith Soft could be involved, because I believe one of the main designers on the Mario & Luigi series actually ended up at Monolith Soft following their closure. Yeah, the director of Mario & Luigi Bowser's Inside Story, Hiroyuki Kubota, probably butchering that name, he actually went to Monolith Soft following the closure of Alpha Dream. So some people thought maybe Monolith Soft was involved, but it's actually a developer that I don't think really any of us expected. So reading from @Nintendo over on Twitter here, I guess I don't know if they got a copy of the game early or if they just know someone who was able to get one of those copies early. We now know, based on the trademark, that is actually co-developed by Acquire. So I guess there is still some potential there. There is still some room for it maybe being co-developed and kind of worked on by Monolith Software or something like that, or someone else within Nintendo, another developer. But we now kind of know that the lead developer of this game is almost certainly Acquire. Now, Acquire is a developer I don't think I've really talked about much on the channel before, because frankly, I haven't had much reason to. Acquire is the developer of Octopath Traveler, Tenchu, Way of the Samurai, as Nintendo lays out here. So right off the bat, I will say, as someone who likes Octopath Traveler, if you are new to RPGs or whatever, and you're just happy to see Mario and Luigi coming back, you're in good hands. I didn't know it was Acquire until this morning. I didn't know the same people that worked on Octopath actually made Tenchu and Way of the Samurai, as well as Kamiwaza, that came out on Switch a couple years ago. Got a remaster, but then they just released a ton of stuff. Akiba's Beat, Akiba's Trip, those are on Switch. I know people like those games. But yeah, then they co-developed Octopath Traveler with Square Enix Business Division 11. You got to change those names, Square Enix. But yeah, they worked on that. Then they did the Octopath mobile game, Champions of the Continent here. Just a bunch of other stuff. Labyrinth of Zangetsu, Adventure Academia. I think I have this game. I think it was $8 on Amazon or something. Of course, they also co-developed Octopath Traveler 2. So I'm not sure if they're the lead developer of Octopath, but they definitely are very deeply connected to the series, given that they also made the mobile game here. as the lead developer, and then just a ton of other stuff. I mean, they made a game called Hookah Haze this year. What is Hookah Haze? This is this is Hookah Haze. This is Noisy Pixels review, by the way. Don't want to shout them out. This is a game by the new developers of the Mario and Luigi series. It kind of looks like Valhalla, where you're mixing drinks. Yeah, it honestly looks like a clone, I would even say. And I love Valhalla. But this one's going a little crazy here with these designs. But yeah, they are the new developers of Mario and Luigi, and that is just absolutely crazy. I don't think anybody was predicting this. It's funny because we were really not close at all. I don't think I saw a single post being like, oh yeah, it's going to be Acquire. Acquire, the developers of Octopath Traveler, or a team that works on Octopath Traveler, they're going to be the ones behind Mario and Luigi Brothership. I didn't see anybody saying that, and here we are now, knowing that they are, I assume, leading it, right? Like, it says co-develop Nintendo and Acquire. Nintendo does that for almost all their games. I assume that Acquire is just the lead developer with maybe some oversight internally at Nintendo. I imagine we'll probably get like an Ask the Developer interview in the coming weeks that will maybe shine some more light on it. But yeah, I mean, I think this is good news. I think this is good news all around because for me, it reminds me of when Arc System Works was the surprise developer of Another Code Recollection. Because when that game was announced, I was like, oh, this is probably being done by Mages. They did the Famicom Detective Club remakes. It kind of just makes sense. They're kind of similar, like adventure, visual novel-y games, you know, story-based games from Nintendo. And then we found out it was Arc System Works, a developer that no one was predicting to be making Another Code Recollection. This is in a similar vein where, you know, in that case, we ended up getting a new Famicom Detective Club game the same year as Another Code. So now, knowing that it is Acquire, a developer we really had no reason to believe would be working on a new Mario and Luigi game, which is a huge step for them, we now can say, well, maybe Ilka's still gonna do a Pokemon game. In fact, I'll actually talk about that in a later video today, because Ilka's next Pokemon game has seemingly completely leaked. So that'll be another video. But now, you know, they're not taking resources to do Mario and Luigi. They can focus on Pokemon. Now, you know, if it was going to be Monolith Soft, they're not taking resources from Monolith Soft. That's just going to be whatever Monolith Soft is working on. So it being Acquire, it being this developer we are unfamiliar with, just means more games, right? Like, this is just a net positive, I would say, for Nintendo fans, because it simply means this is another game that would not have existed if Nintendo did not partner with this developer. So good news all around. Now, there is something I missed in yesterday's video. I want to talk about this because this is very interesting. So looking at the back of the box here, I'm not sure if I showed this in yesterday's video. I don't know if the image was out. I think I might have missed it, or I glossed over it for some reason. We have the back of the box for Mario and Luigi, and at the back of the box on the bottom half here, you can see it says the game is made in Unreal Engine. Now, when I initially saw this before we figured out the developer, I was like, oh, Ilka confirmed, because Ilka did work with Unreal Engine for One Piece Odyssey as well as Sandland. I think Unreal Engine in general is just becoming way more common now for just kind of like standardized use across the industry. But we now know it's being made in Unreal Engine, which is it's interesting from the perspective of if you are so like in tune with like what Nintendo and what their developers are doing, because Unreal Engine is something that you never really saw on the back of a Nintendo box. But recently, that has not been true. I believe, Princess Peach Showtime and Yoshi's Crafted World, so Good Feels games have been using Unreal Engine. But then also Pikmin 4 was developed in Unreal Engine. And now we have Mario and Luigi being developed in Unreal Engine. So I'm not sure if this is like an internal Nintendo thing and they're pushing to make more people work on this engine. Maybe it's something they want to pursue and just really have a lot more of their games developed on this engine. A lot more of the developers can kind of share information and share experience that way. It's also just, you know, it's a standardized game dev engine right now. Like, I think everybody's kind of just moving over. Instead of having their customized engines, they want to have the standardized Unreal Engine stuff. So that is very interesting. That is very... I'm curious now. Did Octopath Traveler run on Unreal? Like, is that the same thing? Or is that... Okay, that was also Unreal Engine 4, so that makes sense. So Acquire has experience using UE, so it makes sense that, you know, they would continue that with Mario and Luigi Brothership. So I thought that was super intriguing. I wanted to include that because I missed it in yesterday's video. But yeah, that is going to do it for today's quick little update on Mario and Luigi Brothership. Cannot wait for this game. I know copies are out there. You know, I'm sure it'll probably be dumped and leaked online, and people will be playing it through emulators in the very near future, which is unfortunate, but also there's like a little bit of excitement in that, right? Like, it's like, oh man, Mario and Luigi Brothership is... A game leaking is like a sign of like, oh man, it's close, you know? And now we are so close, closer than we have ever been to a brand new Mario and Luigi game from a developer that we never expected to make a Mario and Luigi game, and it looks absolutely fantastic. So let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Did you expect Acquire of all developers to be developing Mario and Luigi? And if not, like, who did you have your money on? I was on the Ilka bandwagon because it just kind of made sense based on their past experience making Pokemon with Nintendo, but I guess they're gonna keep just doing Pokemon and anime games. So let me know your thoughts. Subscribe here for more Nintendo Switch news. Like I said, I'll have a ton of other videos today, including a video on Pokemon, including another Switch Online playtest, kind of data mine information video. So a lot's coming from me later today, so subscribe for that. Follow me on Twitter at BoTalksGames. Check out my other YouTube channel at It's Amiibo. And until next time, folks, peace.